Hey folks, welcome back to Stoic Relationships. If you've ever found yourself staring at your phone, waiting for a reply that never comes, you're not alone. It's frustrating, isn't it? That silence feels heavier with every passing minute. Your mind starts racing. Did I say the wrong thing? Did I come on too strong? Or maybe I wasn't interesting enough. Let me tell you right now, stop blaming yourself. The truth is, being ignored doesn't always mean you've done something wrong. Sometimes it's just about learning how to stand out in a world full of noise. In part 1 of this series, we explored 7 powerful messages that no one could resist. Messages designed to spark curiosity, create meaningful connections, and leave them wanting more. But here's the thing. Communication isn't a one-size-fits-all deal. Relationships, whether romantic, platonic, or professional, thrive on variety. And that's where today's video comes in. We're taking it to the next level with 10 new types of messages that are guaranteed to grab their attention and keep the conversation alive. These aren't random texts or gimmicks. They're crafted with intention, rooted in the psychology of connection. Imagine sending a message that not only gets a response, but makes them think about you long after the conversation ends. That's the power of knowing how to communicate effectively. Here's the deal. Folks, it's not just what you say, it's how you make them feel. Every message you send carries an opportunity to create a moment that's memorable and meaningful. Whether it's a playful tease that makes them laugh, a compliment that feels deeply personal, or a small gesture that shows you've been paying attention, these messages do more than fill the silence. They forge real connections, the kind that linger in someone's mind and set you apart from the crowd. Now, you might be wondering, do these techniques really work? The answer is a resounding yes, if you use them with sincerity and purpose. This isn't about manipulation or trying to impress someone with fancy words. It's about understanding what makes people tick and using that knowledge to build stronger, more genuine relationships. So, if you're tired of feeling like your messages are being overlooked, stick around. Each of these 10 strategies is simple, practical, and easy to use. They'll help you stand out in any conversation. Whether you're reconnecting with an old friend, keeping the spark alive with a partner, or just trying to get noticed by someone you admire. And trust me, you won't want to miss what we've saved for last. The final message in this list is a game changer. It's subtle, clever, and guaranteed to leave a lasting impression. But before we dive in, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us continue bringing you content like this, and it ensures you won't miss out on the next big thing. All right, are you ready to transform the way you communicate? Let's get started with 10 messages they simply can't resist. Number 1, the compliment they'll never forget. Let's kick things off with a strategy that's timeless and incredibly effective. A well-crafted compliment. But here's the catch. Folks, not just any compliment will do. We're not talking about those surface-level, generic ones like, "You look nice," or "Great job." Sure, they're polite, but they're also forgettable. If you want to make an impact and leave a lasting impression, you need to dig deeper and deliver a compliment that feels personal, thoughtful, and undeniably unique. Think about the last time someone gave you a compliment that truly resonated. Wasn't it something that caught you off guard? Something that made you feel seen? That's the kind of compliment we're aiming for here. It's about showing the other person that you've paid attention. Not just to what's on the surface, but to the little details that others might miss. When someone feels truly noticed, it's magnetic. Here's an example. Let's say the person you're talking to recently handled a tricky situation at work. Instead of saying, "Good job," you could say, The way you stayed calm and found a solution under pressure was impressive. Not everyone can think so clearly in moments like that. Notice how this goes beyond the obvious? You're highlighting a specific trait, calmness under pressure, and tying it to something meaningful. It feels genuine because it is. Now, let's add a bit of strategy to this. Compliments hit differently when they're tied to something unique about the person. For instance, instead of saying, "You're funny," say, "Your sense of humor is so quick. It's like you see the world from a totally different perspective." By pointing out their uniqueness, you're not just flattering them, you're showing them that they stand out to you in a way no one else does. But here's the golden rule. Keep it real. A compliment that feels forced or insincere can backfire. If you're not genuinely impressed by something, don't say it. Authenticity is the secret sauce. People can tell when you're just trying to butter them up, and it doesn't feel good. On the flip side, when your words come from a place of true admiration, they land differently. They stay with the person because they're rooted in truth. Let's not forget the importance of timing. A compliment given out of nowhere, when it's least expected, often carries the most weight. Imagine sending a message like, "I was just thinking about how you always make everyone feel included." It's such a rare and beautiful quality. A compliment like this feels spontaneous and genuine. And because it's so specific, it leaves a lasting impression. Now, let's talk delivery. Tone matters just as much as the words you choose. Whether you're saying it in person, over text, or even in a voice message, let your warmth and sincerity come through. A simple smile or a thoughtful pause can amplify the impact of your words. The beauty of a great compliment is that it doesn't just make the other person feel good. It also strengthens the connection between you. It creates a moment of positive energy that lingers, making the conversation memorable. And here's the best part. When you give a meaningful compliment, it often opens the door for them to share something deeper about themselves, building an even stronger bond. So, folks, here's your challenge. Think about someone in your life who deserves a compliment they'll never forget. What's something unique and meaningful about them that you've noticed but never mentioned? Drop it in the comments below and start practicing this art of thoughtful compliments. And don't forget to stick around for the rest of these irresistible messages. We're just getting started. Number 2, bring up the good times. Let's dive into a strategy that feels like a warm cup of nostalgia, bringing up the good times. There's a unique magic in revisiting shared memories, and when done thoughtfully, it's one of the easiest ways to rekindle a connection and spark a meaningful conversation. Think about it. When someone brings up a moment that made you smile, laugh, or feel deeply connected, doesn't it instantly transport you back to that feeling? That's the power of reminiscing. It shows the other person that you not only cherish the time you've spent with them, but also that those moments are important enough to stay with you. And trust me, folks, people love feeling remembered. Here's the beauty of this message type. It's personal, it's engaging, and it effortlessly draws the other person in. For example, instead of starting a generic conversation with, "How's your day going?" you could say something like, "I was just thinking about that time we got completely lost on that hiking trip. Your navigation skills still crack me up." It's light-hearted, specific, and packed with an emotional hook. When you bring up shared memories, you're doing more than just reminiscing. You're reinforcing the bond between you. Those good times act as a foundation, reminding the other person of the connection you already share. Whether it's a laugh you shared, a challenge you overcame together, or a simple yet meaningful moment, these memories are threads that tie you closer. But let's take it a step further. What if you could not only remind them of the good times, but also create a sense of anticipation for more? For instance, after reminiscing about a fun road trip, you could add, We've got to plan another adventure like that soon. I'm still not over how hilarious that gas station snack situation was. This not only brings back a happy memory, but also plants the idea of creating new ones together. Timing, as always, is key. Bringing up a good memory when the conversation feels stale or when the other person seems distant can act as a reset button. It shifts the focus to something positive, lightening the mood and making the interaction more engaging. But don't overdo it. If every conversation revolves around the past, it can start to feel repetitive. The goal is to use nostalgia as a spark, not as the entire conversation. And don't forget to pay attention to the type of memory you're bringing up. Aim for moments that make them feel good about themselves or your connection. Avoid anything that might stir up negative feelings or awkwardness. For example, instead of mentioning that time they spilled coffee on their shirt during a meeting, focus on the hilarious way they owned the situation and turned it into a joke. Personalization is everything here. The more specific the memory, the more meaningful it feels. A message like, "I just passed by that little cafe where we tried those weird lattes. Remember how we both couldn't stop laughing at the taste?" Feels intimate and engaging because it's tied to a unique experience you shared. Generic memories don't carry the same weight. And folks, here's a pro tip. Pair your memory with a visual or sensory detail. Something like, "I still remember the way we couldn't stop laughing at that ridiculous karaoke performance. It's impossible to hear that song without thinking of you." Instantly transports them back to that moment, making it vivid and emotionally resonant. Lastly, don't be afraid to tie your memory into a compliment or a moment of gratitude. For example, "I was just thinking about that time you stayed up late helping me with my project. You're seriously one of the most thoughtful people I know." Or it's a subtle way to show appreciation while also creating a positive, memorable interaction. Now it's your turn. Folks, what's one memory you'd love to revisit with someone special? Share it in the comments below using the phrase, "Good times are priceless." And if you're loving these tips, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more insights like these. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Number 3. Leave them wondering gestures. Let's talk about the art of intrigue. Folks, the kind of gestures that keep people wondering and wanting more. These aren't about grand, over-the-top actions. Instead, they're subtle, thoughtful moves that leave just enough mystery to spark curiosity and keep you lingering in their mind. Trust me, mastering this can take your communication to the next level. Here's the thing. People are naturally drawn to things they can't fully figure out. When you add a touch of unpredictability or mystery to your gestures, you're tapping into a psychological principle that keeps them engaged. It's the same reason why a plot twist in a movie or an unanswered question in a book stays with you long after the credits roll or the final page is turned. But how do you create these leave them wondering moments without coming across as cryptic or manipulative? It's all about balance. You want to pique their curiosity, not frustrate them. For instance, instead of sending a straightforward compliment like, "You're amazing," try something like, "There's something about you that always surprises me, but I'll keep that to myself for now." It's flattering, intriguing, and leaves them curious about what you're thinking. Another way to keep them wondering is through small, unexpected acts of kindness. Say you know they've been having a tough week, sending them a quick, thoughtful message like, "I just thought you could use a little pick-me-up today." No reason, just because can leave a lasting impression. You don't need to elaborate or explain. The simplicity and spontaneity of your gesture make it even more impactful. Timing plays a crucial role here. The best gestures often happen when they least expect it. A random, "Hey, I just remembered something funny you said last week, and it still makes me laugh," text out of the blue can brighten their day and make them wonder what other moments you've been holding on to. It's a gentle reminder that they're on your mind, even when they don't realize it. Leaving them wondering can also involve being a little playful with your words. For example, I found something today that totally reminded me of you. Guess what it was? This approach invites them into the conversation, making them curious and encouraging them to engage. It's a fun way to spark dialogue and keep the interaction light yet meaningful. Gestures don't always have to be verbal. Non-verbal cues, like a subtle smile during a conversation or sending a favorite song without explanation, can also create that sense of mystery. For example, imagine sending them a track with a message like, "This just feels like you." No explanation, no context, just a small, intriguing moment that invites them to wonder why you chose it. Another tip is to keep things light-hearted. Playful teasing, when done right, can leave them guessing in the best way possible. If they ask what you've been up to, instead of a straightforward answer, you could say, "Let's just say it involves an embarrassing story I might share, if you're lucky." This keeps the tone fun and engaging while building anticipation. Here's an important point to remember. Leaving them wondering doesn't mean being overly vague or withholding important information. It's about creating a sense of intrigue, not confusion. You want your gestures to feel intentional and thoughtful, not frustrating or manipulative. And let's talk about the power of follow-up. A gesture that leaves them wondering should always lead to something more. If you drop a hint or create a little mystery, make sure there's a payoff. For example, if you mention a surprise, follow through in a way that's meaningful and memorable. It shows that your mystery has purpose and isn't just a tactic to grab attention. At the end of the day, gestures that leave them wondering are about showing thoughtfulness in unexpected ways. They're not about playing games, but about keeping the connection dynamic and exciting. When done right, these moments become the ones they think about long after the conversation has ended. Now, it's your turn. What's the most intriguing gesture you've ever received or given? Share it in the comments below using the phrase, "Wonder keeps us connected." And if you're enjoying these insights, make sure to subscribe for more tips like these. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Number 4, check in. Show you care. Let's talk about one of the simplest yet most powerful ways to build meaningful connections. Checking in. It sounds so basic, right? But here's the thing. Showing genuine care isn't just about asking, "How are you?" It's about going deeper, making someone feel truly seen and valued. And in a world where so many interactions are superficial, this stands out in a big way. When was the last time someone checked in with you and it really stuck with you? Maybe it wasn't just a casual, "Hey, how's it going?" but something more intentional, like, "I was thinking about that tough project you mentioned last week. How did it go?" That level of thoughtfulness shows that they're not just making conversation, they genuinely care about your life. Now, here's how you can do the same for others. Checking in doesn't have to be a big event. It's not about grand gestures. It's about consistency and sincerity. A quick message that says, "I just wanted to check in. How are you feeling after everything you've been dealing with lately?" can mean the world to someone. It's a reminder that you're paying attention and that you're there, even if they didn't ask for it. But there's an art to checking in effectively. The key is to make it specific. Generic messages like "Hope all is well" are nice, but they often don't invite much of a response. Instead, tailor your message to something they've shared with you before. For example, if they mention being nervous about a big presentation, you could say, "I was just thinking about you. How did that presentation go? I bet you nailed it." This kind of check-in doesn't just show you care, It also opens the door for a meaningful conversation. Timing is everything. A well-timed check-in can turn someone's day around. Maybe they've been quiet for a while, and you notice it. A simple, "Hey, I haven't heard from you in a bit. Just wanted to make sure you're doing okay," can go a long way. It shows that you're paying attention, even when they're not actively reaching out. Another effective approach is to combine checking in with encouragement. If you know they're going through a challenging time, you could say something like, "I know you've got a lot on your plate right now, but I just wanted to remind you how strong and capable you are. I'm here if you need anything." These moments of support leave a lasting impression because they come from a place of genuine care. Humor can also play a role here, especially if it's someone you have a playful relationship with. For instance, "Hey, just checking in. Did you survive that Monday meeting? If so, what's your secret?" Adds a light-hearted touch that keeps things engaging while still showing you care. Remember, checking in isn't just about asking questions. It's about listening to the answers. When they do open up, be present. Don't just nod along or send a quick reply. Take the time to acknowledge their feelings and offer support if needed. Sometimes, just saying, "That sounds really tough. I'm here for you," can make all the difference. Here's something important to keep in mind. Consistency matters. A one-time check-in is nice, but it's the regular, thoughtful gestures that truly build trust and connection. Make it a habit to reach out, not because you're obligated to, but because you genuinely care about their well-being. And don't underestimate the impact of checking in when things are going well, too. It doesn't always have to be about challenges or struggles. A quick, "I saw something today that reminded me of you and just wanted to say hi," I can brighten someone's day and reinforce that you're thinking about them even when there's no specific reason. So, let's bring it back to you, folks. Who in your life could use a little check-in right now? Think about it. What's one thoughtful message you could send to let them know you care? Share your ideas in the comments using the phrase, "Check-ins matter." And hey, if this video has sparked some ideas for your own connections, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. There's so much more to uncover about building meaningful relationships. And trust me, you won't want to miss what's next. Number 5, make it fun and playful. Let's be honest, who doesn't love a bit of fun? Playfulness isn't just about jokes or witty comebacks. It's about creating moments that feel light, engaging, and effortlessly enjoyable. If you want your messages to stand out, weaving in some fun and playfulness is a game changer. It's not about trying too hard or forcing humor. It's about adding a spark that keeps the conversation lively and memorable. Think about the last time someone made you laugh through a message. It might have been a cheeky meme, a playful tease, or even a random, silly observation. Those moments stick because they're unexpected and enjoyable. And guess what? You can create the same magic in your own messages with just a bit of effort and creativity. A great way to keep things playful is by leaning into humor that matches their personality. Maybe they love sarcasm, enjoy puns, or can't resist a good gif. Use that to your advantage. For instance, instead of a boring "good morning," you could send, "Morning. I hope your coffee's strong enough to handle your schedule today." It's simple, light, and guaranteed to start the day on a positive note. Another tip, add a touch of unpredictability. Send something like, "Quick, what's your survival plan for a zombie apocalypse?" It's random, funny, and invites them to join in the silliness. Playful conversations like these not only grab attention, but also help people feel more comfortable opening up. One of the best ways to make your messages fun is by creating little games or challenges. For example, you might say, "I bet you can't guess my favorite childhood snack." Hint, it's not what you'd expect. Or, if you could only keep one app on your phone, which one would it be? And no, texting me isn't cheating. These mini-games add an interactive element that keeps things interesting and gives them a reason to engage. And don't forget callbacks to shared jokes or moments. If you have an inside joke, reference it. If they once admitted they can't cook, you might say, "Just saw a recipe for homemade pasta. Should I send it?" Or is that a lost cause? It's playful, personal, and reminds them of the unique dynamic you share. Here's another idea: playful teasing. When done with care, teasing can be a fun way to keep the energy light. For example, if they're always late, you might text, "Should I start setting my watch 15 minutes ahead for your replies? Or is that being too optimistic?" And the key here is to keep it kind and never cross into hurtful territory. GIFs and emojis can also enhance the playfulness of your messages. Instead of saying, "That's hilarious," you'll send a laughing GIF or a string of crying laughing emojis. These small touches add personality and show that you're genuinely engaged in the conversation. Now, while playfulness is amazing, balance is crucial. You don't want every message to feel like a comedy routine. A sprinkle of humor goes a long way. Just make sure it complements the flow of your conversation. And remember, playfulness works best when it feels natural. If it feels forced or out of character, it can come across as awkward. So, why does this approach work so well? Because everyone craves moments of joy, especially in today's fast-paced world. Playful messages give people a reason to pause, smile, and engage. They make interactions feel less transactional and more meaningful. It's about showing them that talking to you isn't just another item on their to-do list. It's something they genuinely look forward to. Here's a challenge for you. What's one playful message you could send today to make someone smile? Share it in the comments with the phrase, "Let's keep it fun." You might just inspire someone else to bring a little more joy into their own conversations. And before we move on, let me remind you, if you're enjoying these tips and want to keep leveling up your communication game, hit that subscribe button. There's plenty more where this came from. And trust me, you won't want to miss the next video. Number 6. Tease just enough. Let's talk about teasing, folks. Not the kind that's mean-spirited or leaves someone feeling uncomfortable, but the playful, light-hearted teasing that creates an undeniable spark in your interactions. When done right, teasing shows confidence, creates a sense of fun, and builds a connection that feels effortless. It's the secret ingredient to keeping conversations dynamic and intriguing, without ever crossing the line into being rude or dismissive. So, how do you strike that perfect balance? First and foremost, teasing should always come from a place of warmth and genuine affection. If your words could be misinterpreted as critical or harsh, you're doing it wrong. A good tease makes someone laugh or smile. It doesn't make them second-guess themselves. Think of it as a playful nudge, not a shove. Here's an example. Let's say they're always late to your meetups. Instead of saying, "You're always late," try something like, "Should I just start bringing a book whenever we make plans? You know, to pass the time while I wait." This approach highlights the behavior in a humorous way without making them feel attacked. It's light, it's cheeky, and it gives them an opening to laugh along with you. Timing is everything. Teasing works best in the flow of a conversation when there's a natural opportunity to inject a bit of humor. If they share something about their day that lends itself to a playful comment, like forgetting their coffee at home, you might say, "Wow, a morning without coffee? I didn't know you were brave enough for that kind of challenge." It keeps the mood upbeat and shows that you're engaged in what they're saying. Another key to effective teasing is knowing your audience. Everyone has different boundaries. And what one person finds funny, another might find uncomfortable. Pay attention to their reactions. If they're laughing, you're on the right track. If they seem unsure or defensive, it's time to dial it back. The goal is to build rapport, not create tension. Teasing also works wonders when it highlights something unique about them in a positive way. Maybe they're really into a niche hobby, like collecting vintage cameras. You could say, "So, are you secretly building a time machine with all those antique gadgets?" It's a playful way to acknowledge their interests while keeping the energy fun. A little self-deprecating humor can also go a long way. It shows that you don't take yourself too seriously and invites them to join in the playful banter. For instance, if they tease you about always ordering the same thing at a restaurant, you might respond with, "Hey, when you've discovered perfection, why mess with it?" It's a great way to keep the teasing mutual and balanced. Now, here's where teasing gets even more interesting. It creates a push and pull dynamic. A light tease followed by a genuine compliment can be incredibly effective. For example, after joking about their tendency to binge-watch shows, you could add, "But honestly, I admire how you're always up to date with the best series. I need your recommendations." This back and forth keeps the conversation playful while also showing you value their opinions. Teasing is also a subtle way to show confidence. It signals that you're comfortable enough in your own skin to poke fun at situations or behaviors without fear of offending. Confidence, as we've discussed before, is magnetic. When paired with humor, it becomes a powerful tool for connection. But remember, folks, less is more. Overdoing the teasing can make it lose its charm or even come across as trying too hard. Sprinkle it in sparingly, like seasoning in a dish. It enhances the flavor without overpowering the main ingredients. A well-timed, well-placed tease has much more impact than a constant barrage of jokes. Finally, let's talk about the emotional effect of teasing. When done right, it creates moments of joy and laughter, making the other person associate those positive feelings with you. It breaks down barriers and fosters a sense of ease and comfort. And isn't that what meaningful connections are all about? Now it's your turn. What's the best playful tease you've ever received or sent? Share your story in the comments below with the phrase, "teasing done right." And if you're finding these tips useful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more insights like this. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's next. Number 7. Praise what makes them unique. Let's talk about something that's often overlooked, but can have an incredible impact. Recognizing and praising the unique qualities that make someone stand out. Folks, this isn't about shallow compliments or generic flattery. It's about seeing the traits, talents, and quirks that make them who they are, and letting them know you truly value those things. Think about the last time someone noticed something specific about you, something you didn't even realize was remarkable. Didn't that feel incredible? That's the power of genuine, specific praise. When you highlight what makes someone unique, it's like holding up a mirror that reflects the best parts of who they are, parts they may not even see themselves. The key here is to be observant. Pay attention to their habits, passions, and the little things they do that might go unnoticed by others. Maybe they have an incredible knack for storytelling, always drawing people in with their vivid descriptions and quick wit. Instead of saying, "You're great at telling stories," take it further. "You have this amazing way of painting pictures with your words. I feel like I'm right there in the moment when you tell a story." See the difference? It's not just about what they do, it's about how they make you feel. Praising their unique qualities isn't just about boosting their confidence. It's about creating a deeper connection. When you show that you've noticed something special about them, it communicates that you're paying attention on a meaningful level. It's not just surface-level interest, it's genuine appreciation. Now, here's an important point to remember. Praise doesn't have to be elaborate to be effective. Sometimes, the simplest statements can have the greatest impact. For example, if they're someone who always puts others at ease, you might say, "You have this way of making people feel comfortable." It's such a rare and amazing quality. It's concise, heartfelt, and specific to them. One of the best ways to identify what makes someone unique is by observing how they handle challenges. Do they stay calm under pressure? Are they the person everyone turns to for advice? Acknowledging these strengths can make them feel truly seen. You could say, "I noticed how you stayed so composed during that stressful situation. It's inspiring how you always seem to find a solution." It's also worth diving into their passions. People light up when they talk about what they love, and acknowledging that enthusiasm can deepen your connection. If they're passionate about art, for instance, you might say, "I love how your creativity shines through everything you do. It's like you see the world in a way most people can't." This not only praises their unique perspective, but also encourages them to share more of what excites them. Here's another tip. Don't shy away from celebrating their quirks. Maybe they have a quirky habit of singing to their plants or organizing their bookshelf by color. These little idiosyncrasies are part of what makes them special. A light-hearted comment like, "I love how you put so much thought into even the smallest things. It's one of my favorite things about you." It can make them feel cherished for who they truly are. Now, let's address the balance between praise and authenticity. Overdoing it can come across as insincere, so be mindful to praise only what you genuinely admire. Authenticity is what makes your words meaningful. If you're trying to manufacture compliments, it'll show, and the impact will be lost. Another way to ensure your praise lands well is to tie it to shared experiences. For example, "I still think about that time you stayed so calm when we got lost on that road trip. You're like the glue that holds everything together." This not only highlights their unique quality, but also strengthens your bond through a shared memory. Ultimately, praising what makes someone unique isn't just about making them feel good, it's about building a connection that's rooted in genuine appreciation. When they see that you value their individuality, it encourages them to be their authentic self around you, creating a deeper, more meaningful relationship. Now, I want to hear from you. What's one unique quality about someone in your life that you absolutely admire? Drop it in the comments with the phrase, "uniquely them." And let's celebrate the little things that make us all special. And if you've enjoyed this discussion, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more insights into building deeper, stronger connections. There's so much more to come. Don't miss out. Number 8. Create FOMO, fear of missing out. Let's talk about one of the most powerful psychological triggers. FOMO, or the fear of missing out. It's not just a trendy buzzword, it's a deeply ingrained part of human behavior. Nobody wants to feel like they're on the outside looking in, especially when something exciting, fun, or meaningful is happening. When used thoughtfully, creating FOMO can make your messages irresistible. Think about the last time you felt that twinge of curiosity or longing because you weren't part of something. Maybe your friends were sharing inside jokes about a weekend trip you missed, or someone posted photos of a gathering you didn't attend. That feeling, that mix of curiosity and urgency, is what FOMO is all about. It's not about manipulating people. It's about sparking their natural desire to be included in something engaging. Creating FOMO starts with showcasing an experience or an idea that feels exclusive or exciting. For example, instead of a generic text like, "Want to hang out later?" try something like, "You have no idea what you're missing. Tonight's going to be legendary. Let me know if you're in." This message implies that something exciting is already in motion, and they'd be missing out if they don't join. Another way to create FOMO is by sharing teasers or glimpses of something intriguing. For instance, you could send a message like, "I just discovered something amazing, but I can't share it yet. You're going to love it when I do." This kind of text keeps them curious and wanting to stay connected to find out what happens next. When using FOMO in conversations, keep it authentic. The goal isn't to exaggerate or create artificial hype. It's to highlight genuinely exciting opportunities, moments, or insights. If you're inviting someone to an event, make it sound as appealing as possible. "This new place has the best vibes, and the food is unreal. It's the kind of night people talk about for weeks." By painting a vivid picture, you're tapping into their desire to be part of a memorable experience. Timing also plays a role in creating FOMO. Sharing a moment as it's happening can heighten its impact. For example, sending a quick photo of a stunning view with a caption like, "Wish you were here," makes them feel like they're missing out on something special. It's a gentle nudge that keeps them thinking about you and the moments they could be sharing. However, FOMO isn't just about physical events. It can also apply to emotional experiences. Let's say you're recounting a funny or heartfelt moment. Instead of just telling the story outright, you could say, "I had the funniest moment today. You'd have been dying laughing if you were there." This approach makes them wish they had been part of the moment, creating a subtle yet powerful connection. Here's the golden rule. FOMO works best when it's paired with an invitation. After sparking curiosity or excitement, leave the door open for them to join in. A text like, "It won't be the same without you. Come join the fun," creates both urgency and inclusion, making it hard to say no. As we wrap up this section, think about how you can use FOMO to keep your interactions lively and engaging. It's not about making someone feel left out. It's about creating opportunities that feel too good to miss. Now, tell me in the comments, what's the best invitation you've ever received that made you drop everything to be there? Use the phrase, "can't miss moments," and share your story. And if you've enjoyed learning these techniques, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more tips on building irresistible connections. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's next. Number 9. Hit their sweet spot. Let's talk about the magic of hitting someone's sweet spot. No, I'm not talking about sports or desserts. It's about finding what truly resonates with them on a personal level. Everyone has something that makes them light up, feel seen, or feel deeply appreciated. When you tap into that, your messages become unforgettable. So, how do you figure out someone's sweet spot? It starts with paying attention. Listen carefully to the things they talk about with passion. Maybe they're a music lover, a foodie, or someone who can't stop talking about their dog. These are your clues. When you show genuine interest in what matters most to them, you're building a connection that feels authentic and meaningful. Imagine this. They're a fan of a particular band. Instead of a generic, "Hey, how are you?" text, you send, "I just heard band name is dropping a new album next month. Thought of you instantly." It's thoughtful, personal, and shows that you're not just reaching out randomly. You're showing that you remember the little details that make them unique. Another way to hit their sweet spot is by sharing something that aligns with their interests. If they're into fitness, for instance, you could say, "I just tried this new workout routine, and it reminded me of how dedicated you are. Want me to share it with you?" Messages like this don't just spark conversation. They deepen your bond by showing that you're aligned with what they care about. Now, let's talk about the tone of your message. When you're aiming for their sweet spot, keep it genuine and conversational. Avoid making it sound like you're trying too hard. For example, "I saw this and knew you'd love it," who feels warm and natural. It's not about overwhelming them with compliments or trying to impress them. It's about showing you genuinely value what they bring to the table. Hitting their sweet spot can also mean reminding them of their unique strengths. Say they're really creative. A message like, "I was struggling with a project and thought, what would their name do? You always have the best ideas," not only flatters them, but also reinforces the connection by showing that you admire their talents. Another trick: humor. If they have a quirky sense of humor, lean into it. If they love bad puns, don't shy away from sending them one. The goal is to make them feel like you get them in a way others might not. Finally, remember that hitting their sweet spot isn't about flattery, it's about alignment. When your message reflects their personality, passions, or values, it makes them feel understood and appreciated. And let's face it, folks, that's a feeling we all crave. So, let me ask you, when was the last time someone truly hit your sweet spot with a message? Share your story in the comments using the phrase, "hit my sweet spot." And if this resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe for more insights like this. We've got plenty more to share, and trust me, you'll want to be part of the journey. Number 10. Say it with a meme. Let's wrap things up with a modern twist. Memes. Yes, folks, memes aren't just for laughs. They're one of the simplest yet most effective ways to grab attention and keep a conversation light, engaging, and memorable. In a world where everyone's inbox is flooded with generic texts, a well-timed meme can make all the difference. Why are memes so powerful? First, they're visual, and as humans, we're naturally drawn to images. A meme can say in one glance what a long-winded message might struggle to convey. Second, they're inherently relatable. Whether it's about the universal struggles of adulting, the chaos of Mondays, or the joy of finding someone who gets your humor, memes resonate because they tap into shared experiences. Now, the key to using memes effectively is personalization. A generic meme might get a chuckle, but one tailored to the other person's sense of humor or interests. That's where the magic happens. For example, if you know they love a specific TV show, find a meme related to it. A message like, "This totally reminded me of you," paired with a relevant meme is casual yet meaningful. It shows that you were thinking of them specifically. Memes are also great for diffusing tension or awkward moments. Let's say the conversation's gone quiet, and you're not sure how to re-engage. Dropping a light-hearted meme with a caption like, "This is so us," can break the ice and reignite the exchange without feeling forced. But here's the trick. Keep it genuine. Avoid spamming random memes just to get a reaction. Instead, think of them as a tool to enhance the connection, not a shortcut for conversation. And don't forget to mix humor with sincerity. A meme can spark the laugh, but your follow-up keeps the connection alive. So next time you're unsure what to say, consider saying it with a meme. It's quick, it's fun, and when done right, it's absolutely unforgettable. And there you have it, 10 messages that can transform the way you communicate, making sure you're never ignored again. Remember, it's not just about what you say, but how you make someone feel. Connection comes from authenticity, playfulness, and thoughtfulness. And when you tap into these, the results are powerful. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to stay connected and make sure you never miss the next set of insights that can level up your relationships. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.